Your name, man, for the record.
Theresa Manzella, representing House District 85. This issue does fall in my district. And, you know, this is such a hot button because it represents two issues that we're so passionate about, public access as well as protecting private property rights. I really admire the job that the citizens and landowners have done. I think they've made an incredibly eloquent case. And it's terribly unfortunate that they had to go to Washington DC to get all of this information. And I guess I would have a question for Royce. Since this did go before the Supreme Court of Montana, would they have not been obligated to do the research necessary to bring this information to light?
I wasn't part of the case, but I do know that the Supreme Court found that there was, and I don't know what the, they're saying in the historical evidence that they have affirmed the commissioner's finding that it was 11.8 mile long road. They affirmed that this.
I was going to say somebody needs to read that.
Now, what all they looked at, I don't know. I wasn't involved in the lawsuit or anything else. I read the opinion. Now, whether this issue was raised before,
It wasn't. The
I don't
patent
know.
issue did
I
not
don't
come
know.
up in any of the legal suits.
You know.
We've only recently obtained all this patent information.
Okay, so just to reiterate what has already been said quite adequately, the road was established in June 5th, 1900. There are 8 documents indicating that there was no claims whatsoever on the Hecla placer mining or the Jim placer mining. And I think it's a tremendous testament to the record keeping that was done in that era. And it was a very methodical process by which the record keeping was done. And I believe it would have to be quite arduous because some of these documents were signed in Missoula in December of the 1900s. So 1902, 1901. So imagine the task of traveling to Missoula for that purpose. And there is documentation of a proper dispute in 1905. So, and since I've gotten involved with this, I have tried to find a land patent attorney or expert, and they are very, very hard to find. And I've spent a considerable amount of time trying to find one. Kurt McKenzie is considered to be very knowledgeable on the subject. He has not been available to me. Just in full disclosure, I did talk to the Boogleys first, and then Jeff, and then the Boogleys after all this information had came out. I have solicited the assistance of the Pacific Legal Foundation, and they are looking at this as well. So hopefully, although they haven't offered any kind of opinion as yet.
Theresa, really quick, and I don't know if they would be considered to be experts or not, but the attorneys that were involved with that Lady of the Rockies case that I mentioned, they were Shane Vignata, who's now a judge down in Missoula, but Greg Schultz was the attorney on the other side. He may be somebody you might want to try to call.
Shane Vignata?
Vignata, but I think I'm pronouncing it right, but he's a judge in Missoula now, so he wouldn't be available, but Greg Schultz was the other attorney that was involved.
All right, I just think it's absolutely incumbent on us as elected officials to see this through to its satisfactory conclusion. I don't think we have the luxury of passing the buck or claiming that we don't have jurisdiction.
You guys define what our jurisdiction is under state law. You can't point that at us.
So would you argue that we can violate state laws passed by the legislature when we feel
I would like to know when that law was established, Jeff. Do you know when that law was specifically established?
What
law?
abandonment law?
The abandonment law that says that a county can't
I can look it up for you.
abandon a law.
But what I thought I heard
Specifically
you say was that laws apply until they don't in something we feel may be a constitutional issue on our end, or we may wanna override or nullify state law. Is that what you're arguing today or advocating for today?
I'm advocating that we, as elected officials, see this through to a conclusion. And determine what is right, because this is a precedent-setting case, and, we can't afford to get it wrong. We absolutely can't afford to get it wrong. And private property was what established our country, and protection of private property, and I think that is first and foremost our obligation to do that.
Terry, could you pull up 7/14/2615?
Seven?
7/14/2615. There's the statute that we used, that came up as an obstacle in our discussions that we had on.
Okay, so we've got 2005, 1999, 1965. Okay, so my question, I guess, for Royce would be, would this not be an ex post facto situation where this law was put in place after the fact of this establishment?
Grandfathered.
And we would therefore be grandfathered in?
I like shooting from the hip a lot, but, no,
You don't have to.
no, the way I look at it, and I guess this is my opinion, the road right now, in the last determination, or where the road is at, it was determined to be a county road. So I wanna make sure that this part is clear, that in the Montana Supreme Court now has said that it's a county road. The only way that this commission can abandon a county road under statute is by that statute right there. And you look at the statute at the time of the abandonment, and that's what's in place.
I guess it depends on if you considered the petition that you're from the petition point forward, or if the petition, you'd have to go back and look at the laws that applied when it was established.
That's my point.
And I think you'd have a hard time arguing that a petition in 2016, 17 would fall back on laws that existed in 1900. I mean, that would be the argument for that.
But of course, the road is not established on any of the surveys at that time, so.
Well, then that's a whole nother argument. Then you're getting into, we don't have jurisdiction anyway, and this whole thing, this whole meetings that we've had and petition never even applied. So that's what I'm saying. At some point, we gotta pick a horse and ride it. We can't just say, well, we'll argue all the post office for a while, and then we'll argue there's no jurisdiction and how much. I mean, we just need to decide which venue are you gonna argue and go with it. The petition process keeps it in the county state venue under these statutes. The federal court's gonna argue, is a road, an easement, an adverse claim? I mean, I think it's that simple, but you gotta pick a venue. We'll file a petition jointly with a federal claim, and
Can you petition a county road that's not a county road? Abandon a petition for a road that's not county?
The fact is, this was
I'm not
never
sure it's
established as a
anybody.
county
I
road
didn't-
until
I
you
didn't follow
established
Wade,
it as
sorry.
one.
just a sec, Michael. We didn't follow Wade.
I say, can you accept a petition to abandon a road that's not a county road? Huh.
Interesting.
I don't-
Yeah, we wouldn't have any,
Because that will
we wouldn't have
ultimately be
any
the outcome.
authority over something that's not county, right?
Did you prove it a county road then?
Well, according to the Supreme Court, it's a county road.
Oh, well, then.
Based on the
Hey,
evidence that they
Supreme-
had at the time.
Based on
The
incomplete.
Supreme Court only, the Supreme Court did not look at evidence, they only said your procedure was correct.
That's right.
So what happens if we go back to the state legislature and we address this, and then we come back and review this again? Will that, put things back in play?
We tell people that all the time, Representative. If you don't like the law, go to the legislature and change it.
But then that flies in the face of the patent. Again, you've gotta get down to find an attorney, find an argument, and use it. Because what you're advocating for is, let's put it back in the county state venue. What I heard at the beginning of this meeting is, you don't have jurisdiction over our mining claims, it's a federal issue. So I think you and the Buglys and the attorneys need to decide, here's the direction we're gonna go, and proceed in that direction, because you can't use both arguments, they conflict each other.
I understand what you're saying, Jeff, but I think it's a moral obligation, a moral argument to do what's right. We're all obligated to see this through and do what's right. And, whether or not you claim to have jurisdiction or not, there has been major mistakes made here by everybody involved, I believe, and they need to be corrected.
Would you enumerate those major mistakes, please?
Well, the fact that, these documents were not made available to the people when the case was initially heard. The Warden Thane asking them to, abandon the road, to petition for the abandoned road when there's never been a road established there. That was a major mistake. I'm not saying it's yours, that it's necessarily your mistake, but I am saying that we need to see it through.
It was
We have-
also suggested by the county that we should do an abandonment too, so. I was just blaming Paul on Warden Day, but.
True.
We have, and we've utilized that process before in other situations. That was the sticking point with where we went. Cause we have had citizens come in and say, we got this road, none of us want it here, let's abandon it. And so we go through the process and abandon it, but this was the first time we had bumped into a road that had sub-3 right there where it provided legal access to public lands or waters. And during the findings, we even said, it's not good access, in fact, it's crap access. Who wants to park at a toe of a steep hill and hike straight up? But it doesn't say provide okay legal access or good legal access or handicap, it just says legal access.
But you're opening up the liability to the landowners when you do that. In this whole case, the liability is gonna be unreal for people. Someone breaks their ankle on your private property, who's gonna get sued, Jack?
Again, our legislature didn't allow us to abandon if it had legal access unless there's a liability to the landowner. If the legislature added that language, we could assess that liability and abandon the road if we felt there was a liability.